Because you're talking of a time which is so long ago that no man on earth can say who was the first man born. Right? Thank you. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. At last your turn. And I hope it's last. Last is that boy, huh? Because after that there is prayer time. 9 o'clock we were to finish, and the last boy she sees sitting on the chairs provided for people to ask questions. That is this boy. But he has already asked his question. Who's the last one then? Everybody is pointing at somebody else. Do you want to ask a question? Then come forward and stand behind him, and that will be the last. Okay? Or Misham Sahib's son, you also want to ask a question? You raise your hand. No, behind you. Muridin Shams's son. Did you raise your hand? You want to ask a question? Come forward. Come forward. And also you can come. So after these 3 questions, we'll call it a day. We'll bring this meeting to a close. Okay? Then we are going to say prayer together in this hall or somewhere else.
Slight problem on the side arrangement.
Huh?
We have a problem on the side arrangement.
So?
We can't get the hall where we were having the prayer until 10 o'clock.
No, then I'll leave. We'll say the prayer there at the mosque. Yes?
I'm doing some research on the solar system. I heard that Ahmadiyyat said that the earth moves around the sun. But I need to know what the Quran and...
Tell me what he says, please.
He said, I'm doing a research on the solar system. He needs to know what...
He is doing a research on the solar system. Very clever of you, mashallah.
And he knows what Galileo has said about the earth. It moves around the sun.
Yes.
He wants to know what the Quran and the Bible says. Can you help him?
You see, the Holy Quran is very specific on this. I have spoken on this subject repeatedly. We can argue very clearly and positively from some verses of the Quran that according to the Quran, the earth is in motion, constantly in motion around itself. And as far as the other motions in space are concerned, the Holy Quran says that everything, kullum fi falaki yasbahun, everything which you see in the universe is orbiting elliptically. Fi falaki yasbahun means is orbiting elliptically. So everything is in motion and is in elliptical motion. So also is the sun, but not round the earth, but in the galaxy itself. It's moving along with the galaxy, and it seems to be spiraling around somewhere to some unknown end. So according to the Quran, the earth is not stationary. In fact, nothing is stationary in the universe. Everything is in motion. Right? Next, please. No, it's your turn.
I'd like to ask, why do you pray 5 times a day? Why can't we pray 5 times a week, 5 times a month, 5 times a year?
You see, how many rakat, how many prayers would you prefer? 3? Or 2? Not even 2? Not even 1?
No.
You would rather go without prayers?
No.
What would you prefer then?
Read more prayers.
Huh?
Read more prayers.
More prayers instead of 5? 6 or 7?
No.
How many?
5's enough.
5, all right. So when you're satisfied with 5, why are you asking me what? You see, whatever number you fix, your question will still raise its head. Why this number? So that means the question is absurd and meaningless. God has fixed the number according to the requirements, and He understands them, and He has not explained as to why in detail. But if you concentrate yourself, then you can begin to see the light slowly and gradually dawning upon your mind as to what is the significance of this number. Prayer should be understood as something which plays a vital role in maintaining your spiritual life. Correct?
Yes.
Now, for your physical life, you're also in need of some material support, and that you get by way of eating, drinking, etc. Correct?
Yes.
So every day you have a morning breakfast, one time, then if you don't have a coffee break, you have at least lunch, that is the second time, then if you can afford, you can have tea, evening tea or afternoon tea, that's 3 times, then dinner of course, and then if you work late you can also have supper to cap the day with some food before you retire. Right?
Yes.
How many times do they make?
5.
5. But this does not happen in every society. In the poor societies in India, they can hardly have 2 meals a day. And in Africa, if they have 1 square meal a day, even that they will find, even then they would consider themselves to be lucky. So 5 times a day meal is a sign of a highly developed society where things have reached a sophistication, where people are so refined in their daily habits that, and also wealthy enough to afford 5 meals a day. Right?
Yes.
So in religions, Islam belongs to that highest stage where it is so refined and has been made so sophisticated that to meet the spiritual requirement of everyday human life, it offers the very maximum and the very best. So you see, if you become more sophisticated in your habits, instead of having 5 meals a day, you can have 6 and even 7. Then you have a coffee break, that's an additional 6th. When you have the what you say, the coffee, a cup of tea in bed tea, that will be the 7th. And so also Islam provides you optionally a spiritual food at the end of the night before the morning, which is tahajjud, and then ishraq as well. So if you consider the spiritual teachings as food for soul, then you'll begin to understand the significance of all these things. If you consider that just as an obligatory something, then you'll never understand the meaning of numbers. Right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Next, Shams Sahib's son. What did you do to your left arm?
Well, I was playing football and I stepped over.
You're doing some what? Some mischief?
Football.
Football, playing football.
And
Oh, and you played it with hand.